I'm here, and it's morning, and I'm sitting here with the lovely Lesa Milan. Welcome to Jamaica.
Thank you.
Welcome to Kingston.
Welcome home.
Welcome home.
Thank you. Thank you. It's amazing. Such a pleasure to be back on the island. We missed it actually. It's been about 6 years.
Wow.
Since I've been back. Yes. So it's amazing to be home.
6 years.
6 years, yes.
How have you managed for the 6 years?
Well, I've been having lots of babies back to back.
3 beautiful boys. You
Thank
passed them in the lobby.
Yes.
So well behaved as well.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, so that has kept me quite busy. I mean, traveling 15, 16 hours pregnant is not an ideal situation. So that has kept me, and then COVID happened.
Yes.
So I think COVID has kept me away from this side of the world for so long, and it just feels so good to be home. My kids are loving it. I introduced them to Guinea yesterday. And one of them loved it, the other one didn't, and the baby wouldn't try it.
Try it at all.
At all,
But
yeah.
they've had. What's your favorite thing to eat? I mean, what was the one thing that you had to have as soon as you landed in Jamaica?
Oh my God, there were so many. I was looking for mango. That was the first thing. And luckily at the hotel, I didn't have to go far. As soon as I went to breakfast, they had like a whole thing of mangoes. And I think I had a mango for breakfast, and that was it. Like I just filled up on mangoes. But I love Guinea, I love Jamaican apple. You know, I'm a fruits girl, so I went straight for the fruits, and it was so nice, you know, just to introduce my kids to something new. And today we're going to Hellshire because it's one of my favorite
You've
places.
Got to have the fish and the festival,
fish and the festival, Excavage, you know. So yeah, we have reunion coming up soon, and I'm thinking, am I going to be able to fit my reunion dress? Because I am planning to eat like crazy in Jamaica, but it will be worth it.
It will be worth it. It's always good. And I mean, after 6 years, you need some solid home cooking.
Absolutely. It's been phenomenal.
And you were jumping yesterday on the road.
You know, I don't know how I'm sitting here. I don't, because I was mashing up the place last night. I was tearing up the road. So it was good. This was my husband's first Jamaica Carnival.
And he jumped too?
And he jumped too.
And which band were you in?
We were in Exodus.
Right?
Yeah, so Exodus, they were so gracious. They provided everything for us, and everything was seamless. The experience was top notch, and we had the best time.
Lovely. Is this your first Carnival experience?
No, I've been jumping since I was 3.
Stop it.
Since I was 3, yeah. I'll give you
How
some
did
photos.
Yes. No, you have to tell us about, I mean, in Kingston.
Yes.
You were jumping.
Yes. So my mother worked at the head office for Tasties, and Tasties, they were the sponsor for Kiddies Carnival back then. And so I was jumping since I was about 3 years old until I moved.
Wow.
I moved to the US when I was like 11 or 12, so I did it every year up until then. Yeah.
I see. So
and then I've been back as an adult for Carnival.
So it's in your blood.
It's in my blood.
So
it's in my veins.
And Carnival's in your veins. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Tell us about your family. Tell us a little bit more about your family. Your husband is British.
Yes, so my husband's British. He moved to Dubai from Bath. He grew up in Bath.
Lovely,
which is so beautiful. Have you been?
Lovely.
Yeah, it's so nice. So he's been in Dubai for about 16 years. Yes. So he's seen Dubai when it was just sand to how it is today. It's one of the fastest developed. Yeah, so it's amazing. He is in finance and real estate. And then there's me, the mommy.
And 3 boys.
Yeah, of 3 boys, and owner of Mina Row. And then I have my 3 little boys, Maximilian, who's 8, Sebastian, who's 6, and Christian, who's 3. And that kind of makes up our little family.
So you're in Dubai.
Yes.
With your husband. Lovely, you know, starting a family. And you decide you're pregnant, and you decide that you needed something comfortable to wear. How did you get into that whole fashion?
So I couldn't find, I was a young mom. My first pregnancy, my body's going through so many different changes, and I couldn't find maternity wear that fit my personal style and made me feel confident. My personal, something chic,
Yes.
but sexy at the same time. Sometimes I like it bold.
Right.
Sometimes when I'm dressed casual, I want to be casual, but I still want to have some kind of flair.
Of course.
And I couldn't find anything like that. Everything was very outdated and frumpy, and I just didn't feel good in the maternity wear that they had at the time. So my husband always says, if there's a problem and you have a solution, that's always the key ingredient to a successful business.
And your husband is
And
right.
so I pitched my idea to him. He wasn't on board immediately. What he said was, I believe in you. I'm not sure such a niche market as maternity wear, because you're going to be teaching, it's quite niche, and you're going to be reintroducing and teaching people to reprogram their minds when they think of maternity wear. He's like, it's going to cost a lot, but I think anything you touch turns to gold, so I'll invest. And the rest is history. And I'm the queen of proving people wrong. You tell me I can't do something, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to work. It's the Jamaican in me. I'm going to prove to you that Malikal but Watalawa.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So that's how I started the brand, and it's done extremely well so far. I'm really proud of it. Actually, before less than a year ago, no one even knew I owned the brand.
It was that deliberate.
It was very deliberate. I am the queen of moving in silence. I believe, yes, absolutely. I didn't want evil eye. I didn't want people to not support it because they didn't support me. I wanted it to be if you love it, you buy it. If you don't, you move on. There was no, personal. Exactly. And so I feel like it's taken us this far. And when I decided to do the Real Housewives of Dubai, I knew a part of my story is my brand, and they were like, you can't have Lesa Milan and not tell this amazing story of Mina Rowe. And my husband was like, you know what, you can maybe inspire so many young women who they aspire to do anything outside of their comfort zone, or just inspire working moms, moms, stay-at-home moms who just want to start something on the side. Right. It's just a different avenue to make money and to gain some kind of independence. And so, anyways, long story short, they talked me into letting the world know that I own Mina Rowe. And it was really difficult. It was one of the most difficult decisions I had to make because
why is that, Lesa?
Because
in a personality-driven world, everything that's launched, there's a personality behind it.
That's true, but I felt like my work spoke for itself, and also I don't seek validation from outside. I'm a self-driven person. I clap myself, and if it's not good, I beat myself up as well. I take my wins, and I take my losses, to the grave.
That's wonderful. No, that's smart philosophy.
Thank you. And so it's just been, it's been great. I get to focus on it on social media. I get to share what I want to share, and that was kind of and that was kind of like my little piece of my world that I didn't share with the world, and I loved that. But so far it's been great. Actually, we've tripled in sales since I've attached my name to it.
Can you imagine?
Since I've attached my name to it, and of course with the new collection being launched on the show, that has really helped the brand. So far it's been a good decision, but I'm glad I did it the way I did. I have no regrets with holding back and keeping it
in other words, it wasn't, people were not attracted to the brand ostensibly because they were attracted to it because it was functional.
Yes.
It looks good. It wore well.
Yes.
And then you push the name forward.
Exactly.
That's wonderful. So
Thank
now
you.
You've actually segued from, you've added another dimension to the fashion, because it's not just maternity.
It's not. So I feel the brand grows as I grow as a mom, as a woman. And so you'll see the evolution of the brand as I evolve. And so it started out, I couldn't find really nice, chic pregnancy wear. So I created the maternity brand, and now I'm no longer having kids. But you
sure you don't want the girl?
I don't. I'm so good. I'm so good. But I've segued from maternity because not because I'm not planning to get pregnant because obviously I'm going to continue designing really great maternity wear. But I found post-pregnancy was another hole in the market.
Absolutely.
And so we decided to fill that hole. I suffered with baby blues after my pregnancies, and I think a lot of it stemmed from self-image issues, body image issues, right? So I'm on social media all the time. I'm seeing these moms have babies and then they're snapping back immediately, and that's just it's not realistic for all of us. And so, especially after my first pregnancy, I was expecting that. I was expecting to give birth and my body to just be back and be able to fit my pre-pregnancy clothes, and that wasn't the case.
And this is because of the images that you saw.
Exactly.
I mean, everybody that you followed or you liked, it was like, okay, oh, they had a baby today, and the next day
they're back in a bikini, you know. And so that was not the case for me, and I think I struggled with that, especially after having my first child, not getting any sleep because I'm a really hands-on mom. So I didn't do like the whole night nurse thing. I was the one that was up at night breastfeeding and not getting sleep. And I actually ended up gaining more weight after giving birth because, you know, your body is going through so many different hormonal changes, and then you're not allowed to work out until like 6 weeks, and I was putting so much pressure on myself, which was not good mentally or physically.
Absolutely.
And so by the time I had my third son, I was a pro at this, and I knew my body's not going to snap back immediately, and I wanted to protect my mental health.
Lovely.
So I decided to basically just get dressed from a rack of clothes that I knew would fit my post-pregnancy body, that I wouldn't have to go try on a jean, because it's a psychological aspect behind it, right? You try on a pair of jeans, it doesn't fit, and immediately, well, for me, my brain tells it's a negative. Yeah, it's a negative. Whereas if I'm putting on my leggings that I know fit, I put on my outfit and it fits, it does so much good to your self-esteem and everything. And I was like, you know what? I cannot be the only person going through this. And so after doing surveys through Mina Rowe, you know, we sent out surveys to moms because now we have the database for a lot of people who just gave birth. You know, how would you feel about a post-pregnancy line? How would you feel about clothes that are flattering to your new body, that you can feel comfortable and confident in immediately after giving birth? Like, that's one less thing to worry about. And it came back 99%, you know, yes, we need this. So that's what basically inspired the new collection. So here we are.
Maternity,
nursing,
wonderful.
And then post-pregnancy.
Wonderful.
Yeah, thank you.
And what's your most popular piece?
I think the Habiba dress. That's the white one with the deep plunge.
Right.
But we actually we made a change. So the Sheikha, that's like the princess of Dubai, she came to my fashion show. That was her favorite. But she was like, is there a way, she gave me the idea, that I can sometimes open it and sometimes close it. So we added a zipper.
Nice.
So it gives people that option. So on the fashion show, on the show, you don't see the zipper because the idea came after. But in the production, we put the zipper, and people love it. And the dress looks completely different zipped up. So you get to wear it in so many different ways, so many different styles.
So as a designer, you really listen.
Always.
To your clientele. I mean, you know, it's you.
Yeah.
It's what you have experienced. It's what you do, but you really continue to listen.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because it's not for me. It's for women. It's for mothers. You know, my main goal is for women to feel confident every stage of motherhood, from pregnancy to post-pregnancy. And I think so far we've been successful at doing that.
Is your vision for that woman, where was it birthed? Let me start there. Where was that vision birthed? I mean, it was birthed obviously because of you, but, you know, which woman were you appealing to? Who did you want to wear it? Globally, or was it just, okay, the United States or UAE?
Globally. I mean, when we started out, I was still very Jamaican and Miami, so my pieces were very sexy to start with, and it didn't really resonate well in the Middle East.
Absolutely.
Right? But besides that, it was an online store, and they were quite behind in e-commerce anyways.
Yes.
So we actually didn't do very well in Dubai. My market was America, the
North
UK,
America,
and
yes.
Australia. So those
Ah.
were my three key places
yes.
that really shopped, and the clothes resonated really well there. But because it's a Dubai-based brand, I had to then start creating pieces that were not necessarily for my taste, but for the other woman's
Correct.
taste, right? But I still needed to love it. I
Yes,
still needed.
it had to be you.
It had to
speak
still,
to you. Yes.
exactly. I still needed, so I started to design pieces that not necessarily my taste, but oddly enough, it grew into my taste. I actually transitioned from sexy to flowy and layers, and you know, I was introduced to a whole different, you know, area of fashion that was also really chic and really dope, you know. And I remember my mother was like, "I want to look granny," and I'm like, "No, it's not,"
No, it's not,
you
yeah.
know. And when I dress it up and I put it on,
Absolutely.
and she's like,
yes.
"Okay, yeah, I love it. That works," you know. But she was always so concerned about, "Okay, please don't, you know, change you," you know, because my mom is still,
she's correct, yes.
yeah. And but no, it's been great. And so as I evolve, the brand evolves. Yeah.
I'm going to take you back a little bit. You know, you introduced your mom.
Yes.
How the way you were raised, does that still impact you today?
100%. So I was raised by women. So I didn't really have a strong father figure growing up. I am close to my dad, but he didn't live in the house, right?
Gotcha,
So
gotcha.
I grew up with my mother, my grandmother, and all her sisters, because she has one brother, and it's 6 of them.
Wow.
It's all girls. And so I was
And where
the
was
only
this household, Lesa?
So we went between, so when I was with my dad, it was in Kingston. When I was with my mom, it was in Portmore.
Okay.
So I was always going back and forth. I went to school, I went to Stella Maris for prep school in Kingston, and then I went to Immaculate for high school. So Kingston was the base, but Portmore was the home, if that made sense.
The residence.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And so growing up, I had a lot of strong, independent women around me. They were very, we don't need men kind of vibe too, you know. Modern day would call them feminists.
Feminists, yes.
Yeah. But they were just survivors, really. They were survivors of their circumstances. They didn't
True
let
matriarchs, as it were.
100%. And my grandmother, she was a single mom. She started having kids at a very young age. She had 7 children, and she raised them all on her own.
Wow.
Yeah, by the time she was a grandmother in her 30s, just to give perspective. But she was a homeowner at the age of 18.
Wow.
Yes, she was a homeowner at the age of 18. All her kids went to high school. They all went to university, and that's all credit to her. You know, her kids all have careers. They're doing exceptionally well, and then we're the grandkids and the offspring. And they've always taught us every generation should be an improvement, right? So I feel I've always looked up to them as women, as mothers, not so much in the husband and the men choice department. I actually think I used their experiences to know what I didn't want. You know, so they inspired me in the men department, but what I did not want. And they would be the first to say, yes, please don't
make the mistake that
we made, you know. And so, but as far as strong women who wanted to make a difference, not only in their lives, but in other people's lives, I definitely got from all of them.
So in terms of, you know, when you saw your husband, you knew that was the right person?
I didn't know at the time. I was actually going through a really public breakup, and it was very hard. It was very hard on me, and I met my husband when I was going out to get rid of the ex in the head. My girlfriends were like, you know what?
Time to flush him.
Time to flush him. Let's go out. Let's have fun. You know, you're Lesa. Come on. You know. And I was like, you know what? Dust it off. And I met my husband in Miami. He was on vacation, and both of us, we were not looking for love. It was not love at first sight. It was nothing like that. Actually, my best friend and his business partner hit it off. We didn't. we were
So
just
you're like,
we were
okay,
just
yeah,
there for the
whatever.
ride. We were like the wingmen. And you know, we bonded over The Secret. I don't know if you've read the book The Secret by
Secret, yes, I
Rhonda
have.
Rhimes, right?
Yes.
So we bonded over that at the time, and this is
Oh,
10
interesting.
years
So
ago.
he was reading that.
He was, and my mother introduced me to The Secret like 3 years before, and I said something at the dinner table because I
And
was
he-
like, "It's the law of attraction,"
Right.
and he was like,
Oh.
"What do you know about the law of attraction?" And this is before social media. This is before
Yes.
Instagram days, right? So I was like,
That was
"Well,
good. When reading was a thing. Yeah.
when reading was a
Oh my
thing."
God. Oh my God.
Exactly, when reading was a thing, and you know, manifestation wasn't just something that people threw out there. It was a way of life, you know. And we bonded over that. And he was like, "I've never met someone who read The Secret." And I was like, "I've never met someone."
dude.
And so I told him my mother's always, she bought me, I think, Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yes.
There were so many books that my mom always, you know, gifted. And
right.
if I was too tired to read the book, she got me the DVD.
So that you can actually,
So that I
move
can
around the house
actually,
and listen to it, yeah.
exactly. And so we actually bonded over that. And that was like the first spark. And it came, I think, a month after meeting, you know, because we were still wingmen in
Yes.
for my best friend and his business partner. And yeah, so we bonded over that, and we still live by that to this day.
Nice.
You know, I am,
nice.
yeah, I am the key of, I believe in the law of attraction. I believe in
Absolutely.
manifestation. And so, yeah,
So from a predominantly feminist household,
yes,
strong pioneering women,
yes.
and Jamaican women to boot, so that's a whole different story.
A whole different level to it.
You have 3 boys.
I do.
How do you plan to raise your sons?
Well, you know what?
And how have you started to raise them, obviously?
I have no sisters. I only have brothers.
Oh, you have,
I only have brothers, yeah.
okay.
And then now I only have sons. So my mom jokes, you went from being the princess, to the queen. But I plan to raise my sons to respect women,
Absolutely.
and not just by telling them, but by showing them. You know, my kids, they see me as their mom because I'm super hands-on and I don't miss a game. I pick them up from school, I cook their food. They see me as the mother, the chauffeur, the cook, all of that. But they also see me as a businesswoman. I take them into my office. You know, they see me running and juggling and doing all these different things. And there are times when they don't fully understand it. You know, like, why is mommy working, or why is mommy not home right now? Because they're so used to me being home. But my husband has been really, really influential, and he's kind of taken the lead to show my sons, like, listen, mommy's doing this because mommy is capable of doing all of these things. Right. Mommy is strong, mommy is smart, mommy is independent, mommy is, you know, and I can see where the changes in the way they look at me, in the way that they respect me. Because before I even started Mina Rowe, they've never really seen me work, right? They've always just seen, because I started at home, but they were babies.
Right.
And
so they were not aware.
They were not aware. They were not aware. But now that the business has grown so much, it requires more of my time. I tried to do like a whole kids area in my studio,
office,
and it
right.
failed.
Miserably.
I get no work done. And then I put this ladder thing in there too, and they're climbing from it. But my kids, my sons, they know that women are capable and they're equal.
Lovely.
And that's the most important thing for me.
Obviously, now we go to the show.
Yes.
The Real Housewives of Dubai.
The Real Housewives of
now,
Dubai.
In a country where, I mean, you know, the wealth is there. I mean, you can't even hide it.
Yeah.
Interesting that you pick them up, cook their food.
Yes.
You're a very hands-on mom.
I'm a Jamaican woman.
You're a Jamaican woman.
Yes. There's levels to it, I explain to people.
Right. Please do. Explain to us.
Yes. And, you know, Jamaican women, we are top tier.
Oh, we know that.
And, right? Yeah. And I feel for me, especially, I've grown up seeing women just do everything. You know, like my mom was there, but she still worked. My mom did everything. And so I cannot drop that baton. You know, that baton has been passed to me. There's nothing, I don't want to miss a moment in my children's lives. You know, a part of being Jamaican is being able to eat and cook, and you know, it's food is a part of our culture. And so I'm not gonna let my nanny, who's Filipino, try to cook Jamaican food. No, because the key to a man's heart is through his stomach. And I genuinely love my belly. I love my food. So I enjoy cooking.
Is it important for you to cook Jamaican food? For your boys to eat Jamaican food, and for your British husband to eat Jamaican food?
They love it. And my kids go to school and say, Mommy, the food doesn't have seasoning. You know, I'm telling you. And their favorite food, I cook other things. I don't only cook Jamaican food. I know. They go, Mommy, the food don't have seasoning. And I'm like, this is the one time that you're going to have to eat that, because I'm not making lunch every single day. So sometimes you have to eat school lunch. Right. But they love Jamaican food. I cook other things. I cook pasta. I cook other things too. But the main cuisine in our household is Jamaican. My husband is Jamaican by default. He's actually more Jamaican than me.
What's his favorite? What's
bully beef and rice.
Stop it.
I swear.
And a tin of green peas.
Listen, bully beef.
What about the bully beef rice? But you have to have a tin of green peas.
I don't put green peas in mine. I cook the onion and the tomato and the seasoning and all of that. And that's his favorite food, bully beef and rice. Okay.
And the boys?
Max loves curry chicken, and Sebastian loves brown stew. Christian, he's more of a fish guy, so he loves steamed fish, and I don't know, I feel he's probably going to end up being vegetarian because he doesn't really like meat. Yeah, but he eats the fish. He loves steamed fish, and yeah.
So how were you
we
chosen?
Get down in the kitchen.
How were you chosen to be a part of this? Real Housewives of Dubai.
So they came to Dubai, and they reached out to a few of my friends. And one of them passed on my Instagram. They were like, listen, I don't think I'm a housewife, but I know somebody who is, because she actually cooks. She actually does things that we don't, and she manages to run a business.
We've seen them. They said you don't. Tell Lisa.
I know. And so they saw my Instagram and they reached out. My husband immediately was like, no, because we live such a private life. And he just didn't want to put his life on display. He thinks my Instagram is enough. So he was like, absolutely not. But my husband understands numbers. So when I want him to, you know, I speak to him in dollars, cents, pounds, yen, dirhams, and he understands figures, right? So I said, listen, I understand that you don't want to put our lives on display. I love living a private life as well. Yes. However, I'm spending a lot of money on social media marketing on Facebook, and this kind of eliminates it for my business because the target market, the demographic of the people that watch the show are the people that I'm paying to advertise to. So anyways, when he saw the numbers, he was like, okay, yeah, it makes sense. I'm going to do this to support you and Mina Rowe. There he is supporting me again. And so far it's been great, you know, like he loves the figures that are coming in. So,
and it has, yes, I mean, it has been successful.
It has been successful, absolutely. I mean, the brand itself, it was doing well on its own, but there is a Beyonce effect, which happened when Beyonce wore our brand, but there's also a Bravo effect, which is probably stronger than Beyonce effect, you know? So our website has crashed multiple times because we just have to keep expanding the bandwidth because the traffic that comes to the site is just insane. So we've done what we came to do. We fulfilled the goal on the show, and so we're really proud of that.
So your life now in Dubai, when you step out, what's it like?
To be honest, it's no different yet. I feel like I get a lot more attention in the US and Jamaica.
And here, because I saw, I mean, the walk from the front desk, you know, the eyes were like, and the necks were snapping.
It's been amazing. It's been amazing. The US, because we stopped in Miami first, and we took the kids, because everything that we do is kids oriented. So we took them to this like indoor theme park, and the moms were all like, yeah. So that was really fun. That was really nice. But in Dubai, people recognize you, but it's illegal to like do the whole paparazzi and pictures and stuff like that. So it's a lot more reserved,
Circumspect, yes.
and yeah, so we're not getting that.
So the boys at school are not kind of...
You know, my kids
Mom, I
thought
see
the
your
show
mom.
was going to be on YouTube. Actually, they still think it's a YouTube channel show.
Love them.
My son said, Mommy, my teacher subscribed to your channel. She said she saw you. I was
Okay.
like, oh, that's good.
That's
Let her
good.
subscribe. But I like to keep them really grounded. And so, yeah. So they don't know that it's on TV and it's as big as it is. They think it's just...
How do you keep your children grounded?
Well, it's very difficult in Dubai when play dates are on super yachts.
And just like that.
You know,
Play dates are on the super yachts.
yeah, you know, it's very
And
difficult.
you don't pack a lunch then, do you?
It's very difficult, but I think we've done a really good job. My husband and I, we live below our means. We don't live above our means. We, you know, we teach the kids to be independent. Like, yes, we do have people that help me. I have a nanny, you know, I have a housekeeper, I have a driver. However, I still do things for myself. I pick my kids up from school. They know how hard we work because my husband and I both come from nothing. And so everything that we've built, we've done it on our own. So we've been able, so we tell our kids things like this, you know, if something is expensive.
So you don't pretend that, you know, oh, well, you know,
No,
play dates
we
on
do
yacht.
not.
That's what I did in Jamaica. Hey.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. They know you cannot waste that because there's kids in the world that don't have food.
That's right.
And mommy and daddy work really hard for you to have this meal. So you have to finish it, you know, and they understand, you know, like my kids, well, my husband's in finance. So my kids already know the difference between an asset and a liability because my husband's big on finance education from a young age.
From day
So
one.
they understand and they work, you know, they wash the cars for money. They, you know, and they're 6 and 8. And Christian's the 3-year-old. He wants the money too. So he's the one that makes the mess. You know, they're cleaning the cars and Christian's making it dirty. But they work for money.
Yeah.
And so that's our way of keeping them grounded. We travel with them. You know, my husband does a lot of charity work.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, and so does Mina Rowe. So we went to Kenya recently to do a lot of charity work. Our kids came with us and
So
they were
that they
able
can
to
see.
see,
Lovely,
they were
lovely.
able to see because in Dubai, we don't even have homeless people. It doesn't exist. You know, so you live in like this bubble, you don't really see poverty. You don't even see a middle class. You only see one level. So it's
Was
just,
that a culture shock for you?
it was.
Yes.
It absolutely was. It's a very diverse place. It is a melting pot, but it is segregated by class. It is a class thing. And so where you don't see poverty, people do get discriminated against based on their passport or their social class. Yeah.
Okay. What plans do you have post-show?
Well,
Or are you just hoping that, you know, it will continue?
well, no. You know, I'm the kind of person, I plan ahead. I don't really sit and wait for things to happen. I'm a mover and a shaker. I try to get things going even before, you know, the wheels are turning. I try to turn them on my own first. So I just hope to continue to just grow Mina Rowe. I want to float it one day. You know, that's the goal, you know, and I'm just working towards that. Just being a great mom, being a great wife, being a great friend, being a great, you know, ambassador.
You certainly are, you know, a great ambassador for Jamaica on the show.
Thank
you for that.
Thank you. And
any plans, you know, with Jamaica?
Yes. Well, I'm going
Share
to
it with us here
well,
at the
I
Observer.
am. Well,
Break it with us.
Yeah. Well, the first thing I would like to do, I'm meeting with a few local designers because I would like to take one on to work for Mina Rowe. So that's the first step.
Lovely.
For Mina Rowe, we have the Mom to Mom Foundation, and what we do with that is we provide prenatal care for women in villages and in rural areas across the world, and Jamaica is next on the list.
Oh, please, lovely.
Yeah,
Thank
Jamaica
you.
is
So how
next
soon?
on
When
the
you say
list.
next, a year from now?
Well,
months
we
from
choose
now,
a different
2 years?
country every year. So
Yes.
December is when we announce the next country that we're going to be providing aid to, and so it's only what, July,
Yes.
but in December we'll be announcing that Jamaica is the next.
Did you hear that? Jamaica is the next.
Yes,
For the
yes.
Mineral Foundation.
Yeah,
isn't
so
it?
it's been great so far. We've done countries that are close by because of flight and
Obviously,
travel
yes.
and everything. So we've done Kenya, we've done Pakistan, we've done the Philippines, and a few other places nearby, and Tanzania, and so.
Okay.
Jamaica's first, and after that, I think we're going to Barbados.
So what can Jamaica expect?
So we basically provide prenatal care. So we either decide to work with a specific clinic and fund scans, pap smears. We provide prenatal vitamins, medications, stuff like that. I don't know the
Exactly,
details
but
right now, but we
look
either
forward.
choose to work with a foundation or a clinic it's already on the ground,
Lovely.
and we just fund it. We just provide them with the financial
Lovely.
side of it.
And what can the designer expect? Will they relocate?
We have like three designers from our team that live in different parts of the world, that they work remotely. They work, so
this would
it
be a
could be,
remote
it depends.
situation.
It depends. If they're open to moving, then
Yes,
that would
yes.
be amazing. That would
Right.
be easier
Yes.
for me. So it just depends. We're gonna meet. I think my team lined up 15 different designers. I'm just gonna go through their books and let's see.
That's
But I'm
fantastic.
excited. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Well, we're excited to have a further discussion with you come December.
Yes.
And when will you announce the designer of choice?
I don't know. I don't know
okay,
exactly.
Well, just make sure that you tell us first.
I will tell you first, Novia.
Thank you. And you leave Kingston, you head to the North Coast.
Yes.
Enjoy your stay
Thank
here.
you. Thank you.
It's
so
so
good to be
lovely
home.
to have you repping for us in Dubai.
Thank you.
And all the best to you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure. Oh, I love that Observer. The Sunday, the feature was
Our
amazing.
Our
My dad
absolute
has it.
pleasure.
He's like, oh, I can't wait for you to come. He's going to see me now. He goes, I saved it. I saved it for you. He saved the copy for me.
I can certainly get a few more copies for you.
Thank you.
Right? I'm sure, dads love, to pick up the newspaper.
They do.
In Jamaica.
They
There's nothing
do.
quite
It's nothing like
picking
it,
up
you know.
The Observer.
I-
In Jamaica on a Sunday is my daughter that because I know you walked around the entire Jamaica and told everyone. It's my daughter that
I'm sure. I was talking to Chanel Ayan. She's a part of the cast. She wanted to be here as well.
Oh, invite her.
Yeah, I will. And she was like, hey, I saw this Jamaica thing. And she's like, you've done Harper's Bazaar, Cosmo, but for some reason, the Jamaicans are all over this one. I was like, yeah, it's a big deal.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal.
Thank you for that. It was a beautiful feature.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you.
And yes.
Amazing. Thank you, Jamaica Observer.
Thanks, guys.